Welcome to Freeman's Mill. Why don't you come on in? We're just keeping the horses out anyways. Freeman's Mill stands very much as it originally did when it was constructed in the 1860s, shortly after the Civil War. The Lovelace family built it and passed it to the Jackson family, the Freeman family, the Pittman family, on towards the Swain family. And it very much shows the history and the process of how you would get corn and then how you would process that into food for the community. That process would start with whenever the farmer would come on to site and drop off their corn for the miller to then process. The miller would not do this for free though. They would actually take a portion or a percentage of the corn and they would use it for their own purposes. Either they would eat it or they would sell it to a local grocery, or there's even cases where they would sell it to local prisons for money. Once a farmer would drop off their corn and it was put onto a ledger to record how much that farmer had dropped off to make sure that the miller remembers how much money he made that week. Once the farmer drops off his corn, it has hopefully already been taken off the cob to where only the kernels remain. The miller would then drop it into a screen to where it can be filtered and have the large debris removed from it. It then hits the hopper and drops into the basement. Once in the basement, it hits the grain elevator. This grain elevator harnesses the power of the water and moves the grain to the top floor of the building. Once there, it uses gravity to slowly filter its way down to the first floor where it can be milled. Doing this, it also hits a fan that blows off all of the dirt, sand, and grime off of it. Once the kernels are clean, they sit in a hopper on the second floor of the mill. They then await for the miller to drop them onto the mill stones. The mill stones, comprised of two stones, one on the bottom called the bed stone, stays stationary, while the other one, the top stone called the runner stone, rotates. The mill stone uses a series of furrows and grooves to slowly grind the corn into its desired size. These furrows or grooves actually have to be chiseled quite frequently, at least once a year, to make sure it's sharp enough. So they actually use a series of mill picks to slowly carve these stones to where they're sharp enough to be used on the corn. There's two primary types they use, a mill pick and a bush hammer. The bush hammer is used to level out the stone so that there are no big bumps. And the mill pick is used to then chisel away little pieces to create the furrows to where they're sharp enough to then grind the corn. These are the exact replicas of the ones that they used in the mill. Okay, so what you're looking at down there is the basement to Freeman's Mill. The basement houses a series of gears that transition the power created from the water from the Alcovy River into mechanical energy that can be used to power the different implements inside the mill. This is done through a series of gears and belts. Remarkably, a few of the gears are wooden. This is for a few different reasons. The primary one is that if one of the teeth of the gear is to break, you can quickly fix it by just putting a new wooden tooth in. It also prevents sparks from happening that could cause combustion inside the mill. Whenever the miller is ready, he drops the corn onto the mill stones. They fall into a hole and slowly work their way to the outer edges of the stone using a series of furrows or grooves that grind it until it's the right size. Once it's the right size, the corn is then pushed to the edge and falls out of the millstones and into a bin. Once it's in the bin, it can be given to the farmer and they can use it for what they need. Okay, so I am standing beside what is called a vertical grist mill. It is a slightly more modern adaptation to the Freeman's Mill. This one is powered by an electric engine and is still belt energized. As you can see, there's a belt standing right beside us, and that is the same technology that is used in the Freeman's Mill to power that large grist mill. This one comes to us from Meadows Mill, which is a company based out of South Carolina. They produced a wide variety of mills for Georgia, South Carolina, and the Southeast. So this one ranges from about the 1930s to the 1940s and would have commonly been found on a Gwinnett County farm. This one has been restored so it can be used for modern use, and we can actually use it to go from corn to cornmeal. So this vertical grist mill, which is very similar to Freeman's Mill, which is why we can use it today to demonstrate how you take corn and make cornmeal. So that process is simply demonstrated by taking some corn, dumping it into a hopper, and this hopper then gets funneled down through this little funnel right here into a screen. The screen then drops it between two grist stones. One of them is spinning, and that is where the grinding action happens. While it's grinding, it is slowly pushed out to the outer edge of the stone, and that is whenever it falls out the end through this little hopper right here again. It then drops onto this screen, which is shaking. It's called a bolter, and separates the shaft from the corn mill. The corn mill is what humans traditionally eat, or which is a smaller version of grits. And then the shaft can either be thrown away or is used as feed for animals, mules, hogs, traditionally. In 2019, Gwinnett County Parks and Recreation installed some exhibits that talk about the STEM components of how the mill works. They also reopened the building for tours and rentals. The mill is currently set to be open on every third Saturday of the month from 8 to 12. We also do custom tours and field trips. To come and see these exhibits, go visit GwinnettParks.com and search Freeman's Mill. We hope to see you out here.